Lesson 13, I will classify triangles based on side length, angle measure, or both. So today we're going to talk about how you can put triangles into groups. You can put them into groups based on the length of their sides or based on the measurement of their angles, or you can actually put them into groups based on both. So today we're going to talk about that. So it says classify each triangle based by its sides, lengths, and angle measurements. Circle the correct names. Now these little tick marks right here tell you that those two sides are equal. So if you just look at the sides, it has two equal sides. And if you remember, if a triangle has two equal sides, we call it isosceles. So go ahead and circle isosceles. Now if you look at the angles, it has two acute, but it has one obtuse. So we're going to call it obtuse. Now take a look at this one. Has three equal sides. Which one of these means three equal sides? You can go back and look at your practice sheet. Three equal sides is called equilateral. Now look at these angles. Acute, acute, acute. So this is an acute triangle. It has to have all acute angles to be an acute triangle because this obtuse triangle had two acute angles, but it had one obtuse. Because this has all acute angles, that makes it acute. Now, look at this one. None of these sides look equal. There's no tick marks. So if there are no equal sides, we call it scalene. And then based on its angles, it has this one special angle, so we call this a right triangle. All right, try to do this one by yourself and then come back. All right, so because this has no equal sides, we call it scalene. And it has this one big angle here. So that is an obtuse angle, so this is an obtuse triangle. All right, let's keep going. Triangle ABC has one line of symmetry. What does that tell you about the measures of angle A and angle C? Well, if this is a line of symmetry, that means that everything on this side is exactly like this on this side. So what's that tell you about these two angles? Think about that for a minute. Well, it tells me that angle A and angle C are equal. That's what it means to be symmetrical. Triangle DEF has three lines of symmetry. How can the lines of symmetry help you figure out which angles are equal? Well, if this is a line of symmetry, then that tells me that this angle and this angle are equal. If this is a line of symmetry, it tells me if this angle and this angle are equal. So let's say, how can the lines of symmetry help you figure out which angles are equal? The angles on opposite sides of the line of symmetry are equal. All right, so triangle DEF has a perimeter of 30 centimeters. Label the side lengths. What do you know about this triangle? It doesn't tell you anything about the side lengths. It has no tick marks. But if every single one of these angles, if this angle is equal to this angle, and this angle is equal to this angle, and this angle is equal to this angle, that tells me that all of these angles are equal. So if all of these angles are equal, that tells me that all of these sides are also equal. So if the perimeter is 30 centimeters, then that tells me that each of these sides have to be the same. So think about that for a minute. If it's all together they equal 30, each side must equal 10 centimeters. So go ahead and label each side 10 centimeters. All right, use a ruler to connect points to form two other triangles. Use each point only once. None of the triangles may overlap. One or two points will be unused. Name and classify the three triangles below. All right, let's do these. Let's connect these together just because that way we will have the same information, okay? So I want you to go ahead and use a ruler to connect A to E, and let's connect A to B and B to E. So let's make triangle ABE, and then let's do triangle IHC. All right, so let's pick these together just so that we can have a chance to label them together. All right, so they've already done the first triangle for us. All right, now let's go ahead and put the name up here. So this is going to be triangle. Let's see if I can make a triangle. It's going to be kind of hard. All right, so triangle got to be a little one. I'm going to go and put my other triangle down here. All right, so triangle ABE. Let's do that one first. ABE. And classify it by its length sides. So this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 units. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 units. And this one is 1, 2, 3. This one's got to be longer. So none of the sides are the same length. So what do we call that? We call it scalene. All right, now let's take a look at the angles. Are any of these angles special? Well, angle EAB is special. It's a right angle. So if it's a right angle, then how do we classify this triangle? We classify it as a right triangle. See if you can do triangle IHC by yourself, and then come back. If you get stuck, you can always press play and I'll help you through it, okay? All right, so let's take a look here. Now, when I look at the sides, none of these are the same length. So again, this is a scalene triangle. When I look at the angles, I have 2 acute and 1 right. So this is a right triangle. All right, so let's take a look at number 5. List 3 points from the grid above that when connected by segments do not result in a triangle. So we've got to list 3 of them. So I'm going to do a dual page like this so I can go back and look. So what are 3 points that when you connect them, they do not make a triangle? What about these 3 points? What if I connected C, D, and G? Would that make a triangle? No, it would not. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that. All right, so points C, G, and E. Why didn't the 3 points you list result in a triangle when connected by segments? Why didn't they? They did not create a triangle because they form a line segment. When you have 3 points in a line, they're going to create a line segment and not a triangle. Can a triangle have 2 right angles? Let's think about that for a minute. So this is a right angle, and this is a right angle. So if I try to make another right angle, could I make a triangle? I cannot, right? So a triangle cannot have 2 right angles because it, having a hard time typing today, it would create a square or a rectangle instead. Okay, so remember, there was a lot to learn today. Whenever you get ready to do your exit slip, come back and look at your practice sheet and come back and look at your problem set and hang on to those papers because you might need them in the future.